Hey, full plate people, while you're rolling over, going back to blissful sleep and your dream world, I am rolling out, fully prepared to get stuff done. And as per my usual, I rolled out this morning with a full plate, a full agenda. In other words, stuff to do. So in yesterday's podcast, I felt like the morning DJ on radio station WOLD. Today, I woke up to another role, a role I have always had and never, ever quit. The role of, you know it, a private investigator with an action-packed expense account. It is Thursday, the 30th of March, 2023. Gotta love the weather, people. Also in yesterday's podcast, I informed you all about Antifa's big gathering this Saturday before the U.S. Supreme Court. Antifa's agenda? What was it again? Trans revenge. This is the same Antifa that burned and looted major American cities a few years ago. Do you remember that? Along with another three-letter group. And who are the hidden and secret powers that drive Antifa? It's no secret to me, people. It's the three I see behind every tree. Yep, the Murrays, the Masons, and the Jesuits. So you might wonder, why am I reviewing this well-covered old news that I have mentioned so many times in the past podcasts I have made? Well, first, let me make this very important disclaimer before moving on. My current and active ongoing investigations are only, and I stress only, in their early stages. Do not take what I'm going to reveal today in today's podcast and prematurely jump to conclusions. Don't do it, people. We're talking about men's lives here and reputations, and erroneous misinformation, rumors could impact their very well-being, and we can't have that. Now, having said that, what if America's major cities weren't the only communities with an active Antifa-type movement contained therein? What if, people? What if a very small community, say one as small as Willow City, North Dakota, had an active and dangerous element within its city limits? Now, I'll admit that this is a very bold and brazen charge, but let's look at the evidence I've been able to uncover so far. We do have, in the early stages of my investigation, do we have any members of the three behind every tree I see? Well, the answer, surprising, is yes, we do. We have Murray. We have Dan the Mason Man. And Murray's other half of the Toxic Twins, a guy, no names, people. We'll just call him Codename Fluffy, who I suspect is a secret Jesuit. Can't prove it, but I suspect it nevertheless. Interesting so far, don't you agree? And what if these local three behind every tree, a Murray, a Mason, and a Jesuit, were involved in an active conspiracy to cause mayhem in our community and causing property destruction by fire? Just saying, what if, people? Well, again, we do. Something happened a few days ago, but all the details of this alleged terroristic event aren't known yet. I need to dig deeper, so by all means, stay tuned. Now, what's the takeaway here, people? For years I've warned any who can hear me, get out of the big cities. They will be a burning hellhole, and it'll be too late. You can't get out. But now, even our small towns are at risk? Well, they just might be. I mean, son of a bitch, it really is later than even I thought. Again, don't jump to conclusions, people. My investigations are only in the early stages. There are still a number of blanks to fill in, and evidence to collect. Whose big lighter was used? Who lit the blaze? Who was the ringleader of this act of wanton disregard for the safety of our once quiet community and property destroyed within its boundaries? And as long as I've got a hole in my ass, people, I will be looking into it. Perhaps we should have listened to JFK way back in 1961. I wonder if this speech had something to do with his assassination.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings.
Well, boy, that pretty much describes the three behind every tree I see, does it not? Anyway, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Understand, people, these three perps have their side of the story. I encourage you to ask them for their version. But be careful, people. These secret society operatives are very deceptive. It's well known that higher-ranking Masons not only can, they're allowed to, but do lie to lower Masons of lower or value rank. I wonder what they tell their wives. And if you're not a Mason, in their eyes, we are mere infidels. The Apostle Paul rightly said, it's a shame to discuss what men do in secret. So finally, now this is something cool. I'm going to leave you a link to every do-it-yourselfer's wet dream. Anyone that hates hanging and taping sheetrock as much as I do, is there finally a long overdue replacement to this misery? Check out the link, people. But right now, you're not going to believe it. I'm going to tell you, I got stuff to do.